Alrighty guys, we're back for some Oily Valet, and this is a Phyrexia all-will-be-one standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? This one's based around Devilish Valet, a 3-mana 1/3, trample haste with Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, double Devilish Valet's power until end of turn. Of course, one of our favorite red cards right now in Standard, right? So what else do we got packed in here then? Well, we have 3 Churning Reservoirs. This is a 1-mana artifact, and at the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on another target non-token artifact or creature you control. Then for 2 mana, you can tap it, create a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token, activate only if an oil counter was removed from a permanent you controlled this turn, or a permanent with an oil counter on it was put into the graveyard this turn. So pretty neat artifact, honestly, and it pairs beautifully with cards like Exuberant Fuseling, a 1-mana 0/1 with trample, and it gets +1/+0 for each oil counter on it. This card's actually pretty good, guys. We played with this in our Goblin build, and yeah, it's decent. When Exuberant Fuseling enters the battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on Exuberant Fuseling. Nice. We have a couple free from flesh here. This was actually recommended to me on that Goblin video, and it's a pretty sweet recommendation. And it's going to pair well with the Valet as well. So for 1 mana instant speed, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and then you put 2 oil counters on it. So that pairs very well with like the Fuseling, for example, and a few other cards in here as well. We have 3 Gleeful Demolitions. Even though it's not a Goblin build, this is gonna work wonders with Devilish Valet. So 1 mana sorcery speed, destroy target artifact. If you controlled that artifact, create 3 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens. Nice. 3 creatures hitting the board all at once, activating that Devilish Valet for just 1 mana. Oh, buddy, this Valet can get out of hand really fast with the Demolition, huh? But only 3 of them. I don't think we want 4 in this build necessarily, because it's a combo that you want to see, but you don't have to see it every time. You know what I mean? So we have 4 Kumano Faces Kakkazan, just a very powerful card, huh? And of course, like the Saga flipping back onto the board, when it flips into Etching, it triggers the Alliance on the Valet, which is pretty good. And of course, giving that extra counter to the Valet is pretty good as well. We have a couple of Vindictive Flamestoker. So this is a 1-mana 1/2, and this is actually a pretty solid card overall. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, ton of them in here, put an oil counter on Vindictive Flamestoker. Then for 6 and a red, sacrifice Vindictive Flamestoker, discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each oil counter on Vindictive Flamestoker. So this is going to be very easy to get very cheap, especially if you do something simple like drop a free from flesh on it as well. That gives it 2 oil counters from the free from flesh and a 3rd oil counter from the Flamestoker's ability as well. So you're getting this cheap very fast as you're just playing out all these other non-creature spells as well, like Churning Reservoir, Kumano, Gleeful Demolition. You know, there's a lot in here. So we have 4 Voldaren Epicures, the extra damage is excellent, and the blood token, of course, works well with the Gleeful Demolition and also helps us filter through the deck. We got more blood tokens, though. We got Bloodtithe Harvester, just a very powerful 2-drop creature. If we can play it, then it's worth playing, huh? Sanguine Statuette, this is a 2-mana card that we don't see too often. It's an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you create a blood token, and whenever you sacrifice a blood token, you can have it become a 3/3 with haste until end of turn. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm interested to see if this one-of is actually going to do anything today. Okay, the top end of the build already went over Valet. Here we go, guys. We got 4 Urabrask's Forge. This is a 3-mana artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put an oil counter on Urabrask's Forge, then create an X1 red Phyrexian Horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on Urabrask's Forge. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. I think this card actually looks amazing. I think this card looks sweet. I already built a couple mono red builds that has the Urabrask Forge as well, and I don't really know which one to play next on video, but I think the card looks really good. I'm very excited to try it out today, and this is just going to pair so well with the Valet. If you get a couple of these down, and you're getting those free creatures onto the board while you're slamming other creatures down from your hand too, this Valet is going to get out of hand so fast. And the big thing holding it back then, of course, is all the spot removal in Standard, but we're here to have fun. I'm not going to worry too much about the spot removal today. So we have 3 Charforgers as well. This is a 3-mana 2/3, and when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token. Sweet! That's awesome. 2 creatures for the price of 1 works wonders with the Valet, but then it also works with the oil theme here too. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on Charforger. Remove 3 oil counters from Charforger, right? Exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. That's actually a sweet ability, and it's not going to be too hard to get 3 oil counters on this, especially when we have cards like Free from Flesh and Churning Reservoir putting oil counters on our stuff too. The Churning Reservoir, by the way, pairing with that Urabrask Forge is actually pretty insane. You can probably get the Forge having a bunch of extra counters early on if you have the Reservoir down, or a couple of Reservoirs, right? So yeah, pretty cool, guys. The mana base, we actually have the brand spanking new Blackcleave Cliffs, all 4 of them. I think that's going to be very important, especially for cards like Bloodtithe Harvester and stuff. Also, when I originally read these, I kind of thought of it wrong. So it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands. So it can be the 3rd mana too. For some reason, my brain thought it could only be a 1 mana and the 2 mana coming down untapped, but it can be the 3rd mana untapped as well. So these are actually just ridiculous then. All 4 Haunted Ridge, all 4 Sulfurous Springs, because we really, really just want red, and we're splashing the black for the Charforger and the Harvester. And so yeah, only 1 Abandoned Mire, Crucible of Defiance. Enough rambling about the mana base though, huh? Iron Apprentice would be sweet in here. This is another one that was suggested when I played the Goblins. With this and Gleeful Demolition, and then like the counters pairing with that Proliferate from the other Goblin, I can't believe I didn't add Iron Apprentice to that Goblin build. It's like, yeah, this is this is a great addition to the Goblin build, and I think it would be pretty good in here too, so something to think about. Lagomos, I'm opting for the Charforger. We got that oil theme. I think the Charforger is going to be a little bit better than the Lagomos, but something to consider. Mishra's Onslaught could be pretty cool in here too. Being able to buff a nice wide board state in a deck like this sounds awesome, but then also just being able to get 2 creatures on the board also sounds very powerful if you have a couple of valets, so definitely something to consider. Okay, guys, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. See if we can get, oh yes we do. So the last video I recorded was mono black aggro, and that was just a couple minutes ago that I finished up that video, and we were kind of struggling to find matches sometimes, taking over 20 seconds. So okay, yeah, good hand, we'll try it. I'm a little concerned. This is a lot of our 3 drops and we only have 22 land. There we go, nothing to fear, huh? Get that Flamestoker down. Consider? It sure is. Alright, well, mono blue could be tough, but we might be able to get there. Mountain is fine. We have Free from Flesh available if we want to try to get like a counter spell out of their hand. Nah. I'm going to save the Free from Flesh for now. I think it's going to be a little better to put that onto like the Charforger. They're probably just going to keep it all open though is the problem, huh? Nothing to play last turn. Yeah, oh, Churning Reservoir would have been good. Like actually having something to play last turn would have been excellent. I'm going to try Valet number 1. has haste, so we try it before combat. We can only anticipate a counter spell here, though, regardless. Wow, they let it through. I guess we swing. I don't think we. Okay, Thirst for Discovery. I was gonna say, I don't think we play around any like flash creatures right now, right? So just swing on in. Looks like some simple mono blue, but I'm surprised no counter spell there. Okay, Mountain's fine. That is totally fine. Charforger, sweet. We could always do something like Free from Flesh onto the Valet, then try the Charforger to get a lot of extra damage, but we have to anticipate them bouncing the Valet. So putting like the Free from Flesh on the Flamestoker would be a little better. Try the Churning Reservoir, see if they counter it. Oh, but we could have... No, yeah, they have enough mana for a big Syncopate anyways, so let's just see. See what they end up doing here. They go for the Negate. They still have 2 mana open. Okay. I think we go for the Charforger over the second Valet. What do you guys think? Buff Valet twice, or double it twice. Nah, let's go second Valet. Because if this eats the counter, then maybe they won't have the counter next turn for the Charforger, or it could just hit the board. Oh my goodness. Wow. Couple Valets on the board against mono blue guys. Maybe they have Fading Hope. No. Okay, nothing stuck there for the 1 mana. They could always draw into it though, so. Terror hits the board. Let's see what we can do here, huh? But all we have is the Charforger. It's too bad we don't have more creatures to play. Go Free from Flesh onto Valet, then drop Charforger, but then if it is going to be a Fading Hope, maybe they found one off the top of the deck, you know? I'd rather put Free from Flesh on Flamestoker, but at the same time, if we can get some extra trample damage through here, then I think it's worth it. Probably going to be full swinging too. Something's sticking, man. Something's sticking. Tempt that Charforger. And we get a 1/1. It's so fun, guys. It's so fun. Full swing. I'll tell you what, if they have that Fading Hope. Down to 1. This is awesome. Very happy that this is the first game right now. Terror number 2, they drop the GGs and we give them a full swing. That is, in fact, a GG's opponent. We'll give that good game back to them. The Abandoned Mire could have picked up the other Valet from the grave too. I think we had, yeah, we definitely had enough mana for the Flamestoker as well, so cool. I'm surprised the opponent didn't have too much there, and actually the last few times, well, maybe not like the exact last few times, but like the last couple of weeks up against mono blue, I've been surprised that they haven't been seeing it that much. Like, I've been playing around cards that they just haven't had in their hand. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky against mono blue, I'd say. Blackcleave Cliffs. Did anyone else read this like I did? Like, when I was going over the deck, I was explaining how this still can be your third land and come out untapped, but for some reason, when I first read these, I think these are reprints too, so I guess there's probably... I'm probably alone on reading this wrong, because yeah, these were around in the past too. Let's see. Our first play will be Flamestoker, then Churning Reservoir. I guess, yeah, getting Flamestoker down. Another Cliffs. I mean, honestly, not bad, huh? I guess getting that down makes sense over the Reservoir first. That way we can get the oil counter on it from playing this, right? And then we still have the Epicure to play out next turn too. And a turn 3 Forge sounds excellent. Got some mono black, guys, yeah? I'm not surprised. Like I was saying, we just got done recording the mono black video, and I think most of the matches in that video were up against mono black, so. Reservoir, swing first? Swing first. Then again, we might not be able to keep up pace very well here. Maybe we didn't want to swing. There's no great blocks there, though, either. I think the best bet is to be aggressive. Yeah, there were no great blocks because they could buff the sleeper. So we end up taking this. And I'm terrified of what their 3 mana card could be. Okay, they're just gonna buff sleeper twice, taking 5 damage. So, like I said, this can still come out on tap. Forge, right? Get the forge rolling. Not the forger, the forge. We're in trouble, guys. We are in some serious trouble here. No great swings again. Road Captain is excellent. It's gonna sacrifice itself anyways. We'll swing for fun, I guess. Okay, so Churning Reservoir, I think we're gonna start plugging that extra oil counter onto the forge. Valet's not gonna save our butt right now, that's for sure. Full swing. Double block Road Captain, they take out the Flamestoker. If we block here, yeah, chump the sleeper. I don't like any of these. All right, let's chump the sleeper. Actually, it's fine. Take a little bit of extra damage here. Down to 8. They get their, well, they could have gotten their conscript back tapped, but yeah, Trespasser is a much better play. Oh, I don't know what we're gonna do here, guys. Could have put that onto the Flamestoker had this cost 4 less. Kumano's good. That's a good draw. But up against mono black, I don't know. Helps us get some chump blockers. And we can swing with our 3-1. Dude, get a couple Urabrask's Forge down, and that is disgusting. But yeah, up against this deck, they could drop Shieldred this turn if they had a swamp, so, or Obliterator for that matter. That could be very scary. You guys notice we didn't worry too much about removal in this deck. That's because we're trying to just completely outpace. Everything about this has to be is about outpacing the opponent. And so, of course, Bloodtithe Harvester, right? But I'm talking like, yeah, cut downs and stuff like that. They get the Flamestoker out of here because they don't want us to restock our hand, which makes a lot of sense. Get that extra damage through as well, and could double block Road Captain to, oh no, we can't, we literally can't. Oh, we are so dead, guys. We could like block here. The Menace on Road Captain, guys. Once again, Okiba Reckoner Raid showing off its power. Let's take the 5. I think we're super dead. I think Mono Black ran away with this game. We have Charforger's ability available here. Next creature we play is going to get a counter. Yeah, let's see what we draw. Let's put that onto the Forge, right? Just getting a bigger creature from the Forge sounds good. Another Epicure, actually. Huh. Let's see what we see with the Charforger's ability, which is actually pretty good, huh? Haunted Ridge. Well, that's not good, but still. Let's see. Oil counter was removed from a permanent, so we could get the 1/1 from this, which is sweet. We get some blockers, but the Graveyard Trespasser wraps this game up by taking their Cult Conscript from the grave, unfortunately. I'm not really sure what I was looking for, because Trespasser was going to wrap it up no matter what, so we should have blocked, but if we blocked with Charforger, we wouldn't have got that, like, extra... Maybe they won't take their Cult Conscript from the Trespasser. Maybe. We might as well still hold the Forger back just in case. I don't think there's a way around, but the deck did a lot of cool things here. The Forge with the Forger's really cool. I love that we still were able to get the opponent down to 11, even though they were gaining life off of Trespasser and everything. Yeah, all they have to do is swing and take the Cult Conscript from the grave to get that 1 damage through. But we'll play this out regardless. And we'll block. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the damage goes through before we get a chance to block. That's right, that's right. Honestly, I think that could have been any... I think up against Mono Black, we could have a chance. I think the biggest threat would be spot removal for Valet, but we didn't see Valet there anyways, so... I don't know. I like what our deck did, honestly. I think getting the Forge, generating a 5-1 trample that soon was pretty awesome, actually. If you ever get a couple Forge down, then that could run away with games easily. That's like a terrific card against like control decks and everything too, just constantly generating that creature value. Good hand. Terrific hand. Turn 1 Kumano into a turn 2 Bloodtithe Harvester. Is pretty gross. I guess we'll get Cliffs down, right? Gotta get used to this new mana. Then we have the Gleeful Demolition to use with the blood token off the Harvester, and the Valet to get that triple buff as well. Sounds pretty good. Sulfurous Springs. Okay, we'll go Mountain. Get that Harvester down. We have the blood token. And a 4-3 Harvester. And Kumano's going to flip next turn. So next turn would be Valet. And then turn 4, we go Gleeful Demolition. Get rid of that blood token. Drop the Charforger. There's no way the opponents are going to let us do this though, right? There's absolutely no way. They have a great double block into the Valet this turn, unfortunately, but we still got to get it down. We swing with Harvester, they might double block as well. And Etching. Actually, they might just take the 6. But we definitely don't swing with Valet. We set this up for next turn. See where they block here. They might take the 6. Chump? That makes sense. Ramping with Shaman then. Okay, let's get the Valet down. Yeah, we definitely didn't want to swing with Valet. We want them to waste a removal on it. And if they don't, they might like set up something crazy. They might ramp, get a good creature on the board, right? So we might have the Gleeful Demolition Charforger play and just have a ridiculous swing with Valet. Or they could keep like a Wandering Emperor open too or something, but they could swing, have 6 mana, drop a Farewell. That would make me cry. I don't even know. If we could pull this off, this is going to be so epic, so amazing. Wandering Emperor, get that Harvester out of here. Wait a minute, guys. If they don't have spot removal, going back up to 19.
Is what you get for hurting my
They gonna swing? They swing, have 2 mana open, then it could be a Fateful Absence. If they don't swing, okay, we're just gonna take this because we don't know what's in their hand. They have 2 mana open, so we can only anticipate that it's going to be spot removal, which is a shame. what to do first here. What to do first. I guess we'll start with the Charforger and see what happens. Nothing stuck. Nothing stuck. Alright. Gleeful Demolition. Destroy our blood token. 3/1/1s. Swing at face. GG opponent. Let's go, guys. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's like one of those games where you're just, heck yeah, I had fun. Did you not see my valet game? So, just in case they did have spot removal, they dropped the GGs, so I was just going to full swing at face as fast as possible because the opponents never let me actually hit with the valet, right? So, what would have been better though if like they were holding out, like if they actually had removal or something, you'd go valet to face, etching to Wandering Emperor, and then they would like drop the Fateful Absence on valet, but at least you would take out the Emperor, you know what I mean? Nice. That was sweet. That's kind of what the whole plan of the deck is, and we actually got to pull it off there, so I'm very happy right now. 26 minutes into the video so far. Let's go ahead and see if we can get like 2 more matches in. I think so. Games have been pretty fast. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Some mono green, maybe? Ooh, okay, well, we're really only splashing. Really only splashing the black in here for Charforger and the Bloodtithe, and we have a ton of dual land. I think we try this one. How do you guys feel about that? I guess it... Thought process here. Turn 1 Churning, turn 2 Kumano, turn 3 Devilish Valet as a 2/4 so it doesn't get cut down and stuff. Let's give it a shot. We just had like an awesome victory. Let's push the deck to its limits and see how it draws here. Really cool sleeves, opponent. Those are pretty epic. Gleeful Demolition, nice. Get the reservoir down. Okay. Armored Scrapforger, yep. Nice, we did end up seeing the black source, which is good news. Get Kumano down. And we could go Gleeful Demolition, get some 1/1s, but I mean, we might be able to pull off the valet combo again, so I think I'm gonna wait. Just in case, you never know. Maybe they just won't have... Oh my goodness! We could get valet above that. We could do this, guys. We could get around this. Alright. Get the valet down. We can't swing this turn. Come on. No spot removal in the opponent's hand. Not a single piece of spot removal. Not a single piece. Duress? No, my Gleeful Demolition! No, you stay away, opponent. Look, Churning Reservoir. Oh no. Oh no, my combo. It was some removal anyways. Oh no, Bushwhack with Obliterator? Oh no, oh, we are so dead. Oh, that is so cool, opponent. Did I get rid of a land? Yes, I did. We're super dead. It's over, man. Dude, Golgari with Obliterator. Let's go. Opponent, sweet deck. First time I'm going up against Golgari Obliterator. So that is awesome. Yeah. It's like no way through here. Get more permanents down. No, yeah, it's Charforger, right? I guess so. So even if they didn't take the demolition, the valet was going to be gone anyways. That would have been cool, but it is terrifying. I have a great blocker here. We might as well just hold back. We might as well. I don't see a way through, guys. I really don't. This could be a cut down. They could also... Yeah, they're going to put a counter on that. They choose a non-token creature, so I guess Etching. Get an oil counter on the Charforger, and I have no clue what we could possibly do. The only thing I can think of is like a huge combo with Valet to get around like these massive blockers, but oh, huh. Alright, we'll take the 5. So, whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. You may play an additional land this turn. You may play an additional land this turn. Is that only when... Yeah, whenever it deals combat damage? Yeah. Protection from red and green as well. Cool. Alright, let's go Epicure. And we could ditch the Churning Reservoir. See if we draw something better. I don't know what we could possibly draw here, but... We also could have just, like, played this all out, too. Dude, Charforger is really cool. This is a really cool card. Crucible of Defiance. Yeah, we'll just play the second Voldaren Epicure here. We do get a double swing here too, which I guess we could have done before tapping out. I'm sorry, guys. Whatever it looks like, it's like the opponent's pretty much no matter what. I kind of just like slam cards and see what the deck sees. And so, like, yeah, we technically should have swung beforehand because they might have just taken the damage in fear that we had like some kind of shock ability in hand. That's something to think about, I guess, but tap it, and now next turn they can actually swing, and that'll be a 3/3 as well. We'll probably end up chumping that. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Crucible of Defiance in a Valet deck is one that you want to consider like maybe a 2 of, but probably not. Oh no, the Bushwhack happens again. Oh no. That is so brutal, guys. Ah, the Obliterator with these fight spells. I don't know, I didn't even consider that at all. And if they swing a Scrap Gorger, and I did the same thing the other day, this would have been a 3/3 because it's whenever it's tapped. I did this yesterday, not yesterday, but earlier this week. It's whenever it becomes tapped. You don't have to use it for the tapped ability, so whenever it swings as well. Yeah, we're dead. We're gonna let them play this out though. Very cool opponent. The fact that they only have 3 mana too is so sweet. Drop that Free from Flesh onto the Epicure. And we'll play this as a land as well. Good game opponent. Let's drop him an emo here too. Wow, they go for the Invoke Despair victory instead of a fun swing with that 7/7 Obliterator. Dude, this looks terrifying. Holy cow. What's crazy about this too is the fact that, you know, there's 4 black sources in the Despair, there's 4 black sources in the Obliterator, but it doesn't matter too much because if you're rocking 4 Bushwhacks and you're seeing more green mana than you want to, you can use the Bushwhack to find your swamps, so you can eventually play those out anyways. Yeah, very cool opponent. Holy cow. That has to be one of the coolest and potentially one of the scariest decks I've seen so far from the new set, honestly. As a red player, the Obliterator and the Vindicator terrify me. Like, I don't even know where to begin with those cards at all, especially the Vindicator, which prevents the damage as well. The Obliterator might as well prevent it. I know that would be much, much better, but still, it's a very hard card to get around, you know? Oh, we don't have a turn 2 Harvester. Uh-oh, Brain, no! Come back to working, Brain, please! So if we would have turn 1 the Haunted Writ, maybe we'll draw an untap. No, we don't. No. So Churning Reservoir would have been a better play there, so we didn't waste the second ability on Kumano. That's my bad, guys. I apologize. Because then we could have turn 2, dropped the Kumano, and then we could still utilize that. I mean, this will flip sooner, but... Oh wow, Briefcase again. Huh. I mean, I like Briefcase, so... Hey, new mana. Copperline Gorge. Fable, okay. Okay. This looks like the same deck as earlier, doesn't it? It's like the same line of play, but wasn't that deck running different mana? Ooh. We have a lot of things to play here. Reservoir with Fuseling. Charforger. I think it's Forge. Yeah, I think it's Forge. I hope we get to see the Forge do something with, Oh, we're swinging here too. Because they're definitely choosing to ramp with the Shaman next turn. Guess we could take it out with that. Extra damage sounds good though. Block. Take 2. We swing. Here's why. They could easily just burn the Kumano anyways. I don't think... Okay, nice. Nice. We cheesed the damage on through. Maybe it'll come in handy. I think keeping Etching back as a blocker for the Shaman would have been a mistake overall. But maybe not. Maybe not. I think either way, even if it was a trade, they want the ramp. Regardless. Looks like some big rule. Like they're ramping into Titan of Industries or scary things. Like there's that new 7 mana card, right? Second Forge is pretty decent. I'm going to play this before combat, as we've learned is a good idea if there's a chance that your creatures end up dying. And of course the Forge before combat too, because it'll generate a creature for us. Pretty cool, guys, pretty cool. Full swing. Oh, they're ramping into something good. They are definitely ramping into something good. Yeah, this deck might not be like the most competitive, but it's really cool. And I think like the whole like oil business in general, like the cards that have oil, I don't know, there might be something there. We got to play around with a couple other ones. Of course, like Gruul oil looks pretty solid too, right? I have a mono red oil build ready as well, which actually looks pretty disgusting. Of course, rocking the Urabrask's Forge as well. And there's always a good reason to play like mono red, right? Like you don't have to worry about like only getting one source of mana in your hand or anything like that, right? So yeah, get that ramp, why not? Let's go no blocks and see if we can wrap up the game next turn. You never know, guys. We could find... Oh, Portal to Phyrexia. Oh, buddy. Woohoo! Well, I guess we'll spread this out. Oh my goodness, a Valet! Oh, it's too bad we didn't have that Fuseling on the board still. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Valet's such a good draw. It's gonna double twice. They have enough blockers is the problem. What a good draw, guys. What a good draw. Goes up to 4. And they have enough blockers to survive here, so... They are forced to... They're probably going to double block Valet. What I would assume. So they take 1. They're going down to 1, right? Oh, going down to 2. My bad. It's casually miscounting over here. The Forge might get us there. They can bring something back to block, so they bring Valet. But these have Trample, so they're going to have to keep, like, removal open. It looks like they do have Play with Fires in here. Big Score can help them find removal. Fable could help them get more blockers down. Cool deck, opponent. Very cool deck. Churning Reservoir hits the other Forge again. So they're going to have to... Well, they have... Yeah, they have pretty good toughness on that Valet. I don't know, man. This is anyone's game. I have no idea what's going to happen. I really don't. We could, like, draw another Valet, too, so... The Portal to Phyrexia play was just insane. Oh, yeah, get some blockers down. Oh, buddy, a Valet gets buffed. Might as well swing with the Valet at this point. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. It depends what's in their hand, because they could swing. We take 10, and then we potentially could just die next turn. Where if we... Because they could... No, these have trample, but they'd have 1 mana from the Shaman, so they could remove one of these. Now the trample would still get it then, right? So yeah, I don't think they can attack here. I don't think they can. I have something very important to say about this build too, so we'll spread this out. Oh no, land. No, that's not good. That's not good, guys. So we play Charforger before combat. We would get some stuff when they block the forge. 2, 3, yeah, they have enough blockers. I think we play Charforger before combat, see if we can find more. Couple 5/1s, swing on in. And like, this might, I guess Charforger before combat, they can ping with the Devil. Oh, they're still going to take 2 here. Wait, I thought they had enough. Now we have 10 trample damage, but they only have 8. Oh, yeah. Huh. What was my brain thinking there? For some reason, I was like, oh, yeah, they definitely have enough to block here. But yeah, 2 was going through no matter what, so we didn't have to play the Charforger. Just a couple miscounts on my part in that match. Dang, dude. It's like I said, Urabrask's Forge, it actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? There's going to be a lot of games where you're just generating those extra trample tokens, and the opponent's going to have a really hard time keeping up with that too. So, I don't know, man. Cool. Let's go over the deck one more time, huh? Oily Valet, here it is again, and I have something very important to bring up about this deck. A little bit of burn could go a long way. A couple lightning strikes, couple play with fires, maybe 3 play with fires if you can find room for it, right? Here's what I would do. Here's how I would include that. I think Statuette, I think it would have been cool had we seen it today, but it's not necessary. It's nice to get a couple artifacts down. That way you can use it for the Gleeful Demolition and stuff. But I think you can successfully drop this and not worry too much. Same with Free From Flesh. It's a really cool addition, and it works really well with the Charforger. You can buff the Valet before playing some creatures down with it too. But here's what I would do. I would go down to 1 of these and just use it as an every now and then combat trick that also puts oil counters onto like your Flamestoker and stuff, right? I think the 2 Flamestoker is fine. I think that's where you want it. I don't think you want 4 in this particular build. There are definitely going to be decks that you want 4 of these though. So I would go down to 1 Free From Flesh, and I would drop a Sanguine Statuette as well. I would potentially... I don't think you want to get rid of the 3 Churning Reservoir. We saw how powerful that can be with the Urabrask's Forge, so I think the 3 is fine, but I think we can successfully go down to 2 Charforgers as well. That leaves us with 3 spots. Is it 3 Play With Fires? Maybe. Is it 2 Play With Fires and a Lightning Strike? Yeah, that could work. 2 Lightning Strikes, 1 Play With Fire, sure. I just think you want some kind of burn, and it's going to help you sometimes with removing creatures. Again, we're not worried too much about the whole creature removal side of things. Bloodtithe Harvester totally works and helps you remove creatures, but really, you're just trying to overpower and bully the opponent and not worry too much about what they have on their board, right? Like, we saw that Forge just completely trample on over. We saw the Valet just trample on through, so very cool stuff. Speaking of which, if you do drop down to only 2 Charforgers, then, you know, you're going to see like that sweet combo a little bit less with the Valet, where you drop the Charforger, buff the Valet, then do the Gleeful Demolition on the same turn, and then the Valet goes up to 32. That being said, I still think it would be all right at 2, and then it helps you find more cards off the top too. If you don't like that and you really like the Charforger, then consider dropping the Vindictive Flamestoker. You know, it's nice having a 1-mana creature, though, too. Just an extra 1-mana creature that can draw you some. Yeah, I don't know if I would drop these. I guess more testing's required overall. Very cool deck. Might not be the most competitive, but really cool. I had a lot of fun with it. Of course I did, right? Valet's in here, one of our favorite red cards, so... Alright guys, hey, enough rambling. By the way, I keep forgetting to bring it up. Yesterday I didn't, though. I brought it up in the middle of the video, which is a perfect spot to bring it up. We do have that 2023 sub goal, and we have all year to reach it, but it's set all the way up at 5,000. So if you want to help us reach that goal, then please consider subscribing because it's much appreciated. And of course, it really helps out the channel. So guys, if you made it this far, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.